A huge shout out to the overthinkers. An overthinker. He watches the show. To the overthinkers. Shout out Bafana too. Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando phela much love.
To my overthinkers, mamelo buchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula niyizinja nikho yazini overthink isiyaovanshintsha nikho yazini
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen that one.
As overthink is your overachiever. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena, and this of course is a place where we can speak football all together and talk about everything to do with local football, African football, and every now and then we go overseas to Europe. This past weekend marked the end of the international break, and we got back that club football that we all crave. And in South Africa, that club football came back with the Carling Black Label Knockout Cup. Lead your team coach, Carling Black Label, as luckily what he used to say. Okay, guys, the show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. But then, of course, we do have watch-alongs. Whenever Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana Bastyle are here, are playing, even UWC in the Champions League is going to be starting next month. We're going to be here watching those games live together, and you can jump in and have conversations with me where you can analyze. Tomorrow, we will be back in for E-Game Pirates as well as Mamelodi Sundowns on Wednesday. If you want to jump into the show, very interactive show where we speak to each other, but we speak to each other. I get to speak to you. There are panels. There's all this really nice stuff. If you want to join in, you have to be following me on TikTok. For those who are watching me on YouTube, click on the button at the bottom of the screen that says multi-guest, and I let you in, and you join one of the panels where you tell me what you thought about whatever we're discussing, and I ask you a couple of questions, and we have a very nice conversation. Guys, this is the only place where it's not a former player and a former coach and a super sport host and all of that stuff. This is me and you. And all I ask is that you guys tata the scream. We're trying to get to 50,000, but also, can you send the gift, man? Send the gift, man. Okay, so we're going to get straight into it. We're going to start off with the Pirates. Orlando Pirates faced Makesi in their game at Orlando Stadium in their match for the Carling knockout. Pirates, of course, lost 2-3 to Makesi. Goals coming from Abrams, an on goal from Sesane, and 45 plus 4, Chirambadare came through and scored a penalty. Then, of course, Pirates came back much later in the game to come back to 86 in the 86th minute. Lamini scored, and then also Mahupa scored in the 89th minute to make it 3-2. Maybe saving some blushes there. When you look at the stats, Pirates had 31 shots and 8 on target, whereas Makesi had 6 and 3 on target. 72% possession went to Pirates versus the 28 for Makesi. 554 passes were completed by Orlando Pirates, and only 220 for Makesi were completed. That is the conversation we're going to start off with, guys. Remember, the panel allows 5 people in, and those 5 people will have 25 minutes, 5 minutes each to speak about whatever it is the topic is. So please, guys, respect your fellow people. Nomsa, we'll touch on the rest of them at the end. We'll touch on the rest of the games at the end, as well as the draw. Okay, so if you'd like to jump in, feel free to press that button, that multi-guest button. We're going to be speaking Orlando Pirates versus Makesi. First things first, and then we'll go from there. So request that, guys. Mapagane Aniko today. Yeah, Mapagane Aniko. Time traveler here, former Kaizer Chiefs player, Rise, Cozy Rise. Okay, time traveler. How's it, Theo? How's it, Theo? Nikona. Marangenani. Mankona ngenani. Okay, let's see. We've got the first guys. We've got the first people in. Guys, if there's less than 5, obviously the people will get more time. Whoever's on the panel. Whoever's on the panel will get more time to speak whatever it is they want to speak. Kanti, what's happening? Ivan. Velile, Mtakababa, welcome. How are you?
Ngiyaphila kunjani mntakababa?
Hayi man, ngimnandi man. Mangithi Pirates nje nazi into zami zifuna ukusebenza, but it's okay. Velile Mtakababa. Tell me, uyibone njani game?
Hey, bengekho ezweni ngiyabuya. Izolo ebusuku engimangena nje ngezwe lasemzansi ngithola kujabule wonke umuntu yini abo Robert Marawa, abo Shakes, abo Junior Khanye. Hey, kujajuliwe man. Hey, mina mainstream mina bejabulile izolo. Manje yabuza kanti kwenzakalani? Kanti hey.
Kushuthi wena usifanele nalabantu. Usifanele nalabantu that didn't go to a stadium. Ngoba stadium naso ngathi bengayithathi serious le game nonke man.
Cha bengekho nganiyasho mnta ukhade ngizibuyele ezweni mina izolo. Ngiyabona impela ukuthi bekujabule ngakhona nabo sibuba khona namhlanje la elayini ngiyababona naba kuma comment abasebenzi namhlanje bathathe ne-off special bathathe lethini. Kubi impela.
Baze ngitshele Velile uthini ngegame, uthini ngegame.
Ngonke ngathi ukuzinika ithuba nje ukuthi ngibheke nje emini namhlanje yano. Akukho okuningi engingakusho nje. It's just that kwesinye isikhathi, that's why they always said isikhathi, time is precious ey'ntweni eziningi. So I just felt nje ngokuthi i-coach yethu sometimes ignore ukubaluleka kwesikhathi, or sometimes isikhathi siyamshaya in terms of just implementing certain things. I'm not saying udlale bad or whatsoever, no. But if we are leading 3-0 at half time, surely the changes have to happen immediately after half time. Maybe 3 or 4 of your trusted players, and not even taking the best performing players, of which Usaleng is a trusted soldier. I'm just encouraging a skadi phela ukuthi hey ngathi uphuzile ukuthi enze lama substitution. Yona game was not bad. It was one of those free games whereby if you look at it, it was a freak 10 last 10 minutes the first half lenza ukuthi Magesi scored those 3 goals ongazavela afungwa kanjani nje. And also there was last freak 15 minutes yes second half whereby as Pirates was just coming back, of which I believe if those subs were made maybe early in the second half, maybe we should have seen a comeback of them all. But so far I'm disappointed because it's club futhi ebuya ku first division, and I hate it njalo if izodliwa amavukane nje azovuka ngathi ku PSL njalo, because they said last season we did the same thing, Cape Town Spurs.
Yeah.
So That's what ingicasula yiko lowo nje ukuthi ukuhlala udliwa amavukane lawo akusinto enhle ngoba vele isifakela amehlo uyikepseli kakhulu nje. So and
but then vele tshela mina beka ngekhunda uTito bekasebhenchini. You started with a new midfield. Usbisi came back into the squad. How important then are those players, and are you scared for bench?
No. I think into esilimaza kakhulu ngiyakubona okuningi mina, but remember ukuthi ispine sethu besingekho.
Yeah.
The injury to Olisanda, it's fiyo esibulale kakhulu. And now if you look at bekho lapho ngathi ngiyakwata khona ngathi ngayibona ngabe ngazikhuza, but if ngibone uteam umakhehleni umbatha bahlelile phezulu and knowing ukuthi baphume kanjani umbatha nomakhehleni on our final game, surely maybe baka recover the sharp kahle nge-injury. So those is one of those force changes vele azokwenzeka. And I thought maybe uteam uyozoqala maybe mhlawumbe nokasibuja or before kasibuja, but ngithema ngamboni makahlelile phezulu asathi mhlawumbe naye akakalimali sharp. So which means push comes to shove, then kumele wenze lawo ma changes, but the critical one bekuyile ekatito, because if you have already lost the spine, you've lost Unda, you have lost umakhehleni, you have lost umbatha, surely oyi-one wabo loyo ohlala nabo kumele abe khona. Of I thought ukuthi uTito bekangaba ngcono lapha starting, but azange aqale. And I sometimes get too much disappointed ngoKim Vidi, because sometimes uyanikwa a-chance but it doesn't raise the hand. And the best man bangasayitholi futhi kubuye kutheni, but for a foreigner sekasitholile isikhathi and uyanikwa njalo, but he tend not to be serious, man, and just make those critical passes and decision making when he's been given a chance. But asas, but those changes and injuries, they really affected us. But those are the challenges that we're going to face moving forward. Because look at now, we are going to play 4 games in 10 days.
Yeah.
Surely now we are being tested so early, and it's a good thing the laws came in so early. And enye into enhle nje futhi ukuthi sesisharp thina ngama excuse, khona basawa prepare ama excuse, because siyabazi khona basilandelayo. So asazi sozama excuse sozola ukuthi nathi sibhizi ku-CAF, or we are still building, but ama excuses they are building.
What time building? Yabona ke
ngoba bathanda bangathandi khona basilandela.
Time hayi now landeli Sundowns. But anyway, think for Hudson. And so welcome to the show. How are you?
Mr. Oti kunjani basi?
But ngimnandi, athi mina ngimnandi, angazi wena unjani. Tell me, ikebe Paris 3-2 Magesi, what is that?
Imagesi faka ugesi bafo yo. We went to the stadium for nothing.
Yeah. Bolapha.
Ngiyadlala ngisho for nothing before.
Mara.
Okay, Mr. Otiazi, when you looked at the first lineup, the lineup of Pirates on paper,
yeah,
it seemed very strong on paper, right? And then when you looked at Magesi, there are very few players that have played in the PSL, the experience of the PSL, which is one thing that I always allude to. Sometimes experience does not really count. The results are the ones that are going to count. What you do on the day, how you play on the day, is what's going to give you results. And results are more important than experience at some point, right?
Yeah.
And then when I looked at the lineup, personally, I was worried because I know Kim Vidi, uDlamini, Orasibucha ngimbone kancane ku supersport angaze ngimbone kahle kahle ne. But on that game I have noticed no man, he's not a natural CDM ngathi lo muntu lo is a defensive midfield, because most of the time bedlala le no Dlamini no Kimvit where they are, right? And I think that's one of the things that caused us ukuthi sibe nenkinga. Mangibheke ukuthi usually if we have Makaulo or Mbata, right? When one of the attacking our left wing or our right wing, when he goes to attack, Omakaula then goes to cover that space, right?
Yeah.
So with Rasibucha, mabonke behambile uHotho no Van Rooyen naye wahamba kusho ukuthi kusala ama-2 kusala ngama-central backs ethu ayi-2 right and then if you check those people they are not very fast to start with and Usesan is not that very strong physically push akako strong so it game I think in the first half we lost it in the middle of the park the way they were playing in this thing nah, man this game is not gonna go anywhere the way because of the combination play Nabama player it's like they don't know each other that much. They are not used to playing with each other. There were very few combinations, there were very few forward passes, like about 5-6 passes on all those kind of stuffs.
So then tell me, Hansa, are you worried that Imakesi, it's not like Makesi played the best game? Nah, they weren't necessarily there the whole time, but Bakoni told us 3 goals and knock you guys out. Are you worried that maybe, man, again, maybe the problem is not necessarily Guti Nyodala Nobani, but mentally, does it worry you, Guti Pirates Lab?
No, actually, it's a bittersweet moment for me. I'm very happy to see Luzile because it's a wake-up call, right?
Okay.
Because at some point I felt like maybe even the players were used to winning. They were thinking each and every game they are gonna win. Because if you check how they played the first half and the second half until maybe the last 15 minutes, that's when we started playing like we want to win.
Yeah.
But throughout the game, they were flat-footed. They were playing at home. I think they were entitled to know we are gonna win. We understand. So that's the other thing that was worrying to me. So now lose, it's a wake-up call for them, and also for the players. Or these players, when they come in, they must also play like they've been playing football for the longest of time. You can't come in and play like when you are just being introduced to football today. It does not work like that.
So are you worried going forward? What's going to happen tomorrow?
Tomorrow with SuperSport, I think it will be an interesting game because also the coach does not want to lose. Once you lose momentum in the PSL, it's difficult to gain it again. So I think from what he's gonna do tomorrow, he's just gonna try and go back to the natural way of play, the way Paris was playing. Maybe against Ndlondo, because Ndlondo sometimes plays more like he would up in front of the center backs, and then if he's gonna play Orasibucha, then one of Kim Vidi and Lamini must be out, or maybe both of them. But I think if you just put 1 or 2 players in certain positions, we're gonna play like the normal Paris that we know. All those others, they are good substitutes from what I have seen so far. Yeah, they are not good starters.
No, for time, let me bring in Agent. Agent, my brother, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm over the moon, man. Tell me, Pirates 3-2 versus Makesi. How did you feel about that game?
You are also happy for no reason. Hey,
no reason.
4-0. Grown people won 4-0. Grown people won 4-0. Everything is for 4. But anyways, it's fine. It's okay. But anyways, it's interesting. That 3 back-to-back MTN wins. No, we feel like we're winning everything. Guys, we were used to winning. 3 back-to-back wins. You feel like we are used to winning. What about us? But anyways, I think Paris didn't lose the game. To quote Coach Rulani, they ran out of time. To be fair and honest, I think they didn't lose the game. They just ran out of time. I don't know. Maybe. As a neutral, I don't know. For me personally, I'm more impressed with Paris than I am with their win in the MTN 8 final. I think they showed character, they showed motivation, they showed never die attitude. Those are hallmarks of champions, and you will need those kind of characteristics that, guys, even if I 3-0 down, we're able to make it 3-3 or 4-4, or whatever, so that never dying attitude is what Paris to be, is the parent spirit, Pakiso came in and said, they are ghosts, and this is what we know ghosts to be, so I'm very impressed with the attitude. obviously some people will be sacrificial lambs, your Sasani, your Kimvidi, your Rasboja, they'll have to be sacrificial lambs. And obviously I feel like the coach maybe got it wrong in terms of the timing, like Venile said, and also in terms of taking out Osaling, because if you need goals, important goals, Saling is your man, so I don't necessarily blame coach for benching Tito in as much as Tito is important. I feel like it has been a terrible week for him, terrible 2 weeks, with the national team, with the criticism and everything like that. Sometimes you have to protect a player and just take him out of the limelight, because had he been on this game and it started the way it started, mind you, yes, Paris could have been better, but I don't think they conceded goals because Tito was there. It was because of pure or poor tactical defense, So imagine if Tito was there, people are gonna have him, So I'm just happy that he came in and showed his importance and his value to the Paris team, So yeah, man, like I said, I'm happy with the loss. If I was a Paris fan.
Is there anything special that Magesi did? Should this be taken as a blueprint game, or was it just Pirates maybe, getting a wobble on the season?
You create your own luck. Shem, right? You create your own luck. One thing that I can credit them for is they were clinical. I think 3 shots on target, 3 goals. What more do you need? And that's a quality trait that you'll need as a lower team if you are to survive in this league, because most of the time you're going to be the lower position. You're not gonna be the dominant team, you're not gonna be the favorite, so you have to be clinical in front of goal. So I think that's the positive that they take. They have to fix their defense, they have to fix their midfield, but otherwise that's a positive. And mind you, the last that I wanted to say is, sometimes we talk of football gods or football heritage. Pirates have won only once this cup, TKO, Coca-Cola Cup, Rothman's Cup, whatever you call it. They've won it only once. So sometimes when it's not a thing, and it showed, So yeah.
Okay.
To the Pirates.
Hey, now I feel like Pirates is still on strike, man. You guys took our trophy and made it an elite trophy. Let me go to Malume Kuto. Malume Kuto, how are you?
Thank you, Uti.
Magibnahadli by Malume Kuto. Malume Kuto, 3-2. Mackenzie Pirates. Did you get a chance to watch it afterwards?
Yeah, I ran my highlights, Mr. Oti. I saw a couple of things that I actually had called ahead of time, Mr. Oti. I think we've had this exchange. I show, with your height is very important. Height also suggests a strategy for the opponent. And with the omission or absence of Olisanda, it made that team very short. And Magesi started throwing in those crosses predictably, and we couldn't deal with them, Mr. Oti. Intwana na ebe bathena ngayo. Whenever I challenge her for pace, he's 24, usesane. Whenever I'm share Mr. Oti from Lay Center. Baze bayongena eboxini ngabona bamshiya futhi wathiwa recover wenza penalty. Unfortunately, he was faced with an experienced campaign in the form of Dylan Makua, who knew which umfana omncane uzozilahlela. And mina, I'm ready to buy the ref, penalty nonetheless. Another positive we can take from it, besides the education that we need to field Umtetwa in the absence of Funda and Nukogi, we need someone with height, is the fact that we were able to bring back the belief in Tito towards our fans. We have these fans who like saying, I'm a Pirates fan, but don't. They were getting under my skin, those ones, Mr. Uji, because they were taking Tito for nothing. Tito hasn't been himself. And you ask people, what do you expect from Tito? Last season, when we said Tito was hot, what is it that you were seeing that you're not seeing this season? You understand? Because Tito has never been up there in terms of assists or goals. He's then, barring, he would be maybe secondary assist or
Key pass.
Key pass. Thank you, Mr. OT. So when you say Tito is not on form and you show us stats, but that was never his game last season. So what do you mean, Tito Agego? And this season, he's been the heartbeat. He's been inspiring Amachita. We see it on the field. We see it in the change room when they show us some clips. He is actually an integral part. So it is assisted. Bring back the belief, which no, Tito Tito is still important to us. Tito is important to us. Another Latin pointer that I think this game also unveiled or revealed is, Usaleng is a striker, Mr. Oti. The analysis of Usaleng always has to be that of a striker, not of a winger or a midfielder or he's a striker. Ingwenya ayipasi, Ingwenya izira phambili funkora. And trust me, if I think I said this last time, if you've been to the stadium and you've watched Usaleng, he is frustrating. He loses the ball like crazy and he closes it over by scoring. But that's what you expect from a striker. Take your chances. I remember, I think I've said this before as well, that when I was a coach, I used to tell my players, guys, the player with the most misses at the time, I think in the world that season, were two players. It was Messi and Ronaldo. And they had the most. Mr. Oti. So I was like, the player with the most misses were Ronaldo and Messi, but the players with the most goals at the same time were Ronaldo and Messi. You understand? It goes hand in hand. The more shots you have, the more misses you have. Something that I think Chiefs fans don't understand, which is why they boo someone like Ranga. When you look at the score sheet, he's actually scored most goals for Chiefs, I think, this season. It's just like that. So even Usaleng, we have to assess him as a striker and not as a winger. He will frustrate the living daylights out of you. If he wants a right winger and you like Saleng's or Fagama Cross, never, Mr. Uti. Yeah. But then again, also, I'm happy to soon run for next to the lineup, coming closer to the E lineup, even though I'm complaining about height. But I need Umteto to come back, Mr. Uti, especially if Unda is going to be out for some time and Nokoki is not nearing recovery. I think our next most important player would be Umteto, and not because he's the best or anything, but because he offers or he forces the opponent to come up with an alternative attack instead of just pinning in the balls. With Usbis and Osesane, they are good players. I mean, they would have never made it this far if they weren't. But when you field a defense and Umsbisi, Umtetwa, no Van Rooyen, you're asking for trouble, Mr. Uchi. Name would just play crosses for anyone. Just see which Bangenza Ganjan, and China is also not the tallest keeper. So I think in the coming next month, Umtetwa is going to be the most important player.
For time's sake, I'm going to have to just jump in there. Let me go to Pitso. Pitso, welcome to the show. How are you?
OG, how are you, my guy?
But I'm good, Pitso. 3-2. My guess, the Pirates. How do you feel about it?
OT, I just think this is one of the games where when we say a team did not have luck, this is one of the games that we are talking about. Look, irrespective of the fact that Abotito were outside from the starting lineup, look, Pirates is a big team. We cannot be saying that Aboras Bota are not in a good par when they are playing for Pirates. I mean, I think this Magazine was a blessing in disguise for two reasons. One of the reasons being, let it be a wake-up call, especially before we go back to play the Betway Premier League, and even for CAF. This should be a wake-up call in a sense that we can now really realize that at the back without Nda has actually been covering up for the errors of other defenders. And I think now this was very clear on this game. It might be because of his leadership skills, because sometimes you don't have to perform, but your skills, your leadership skills can play a lot in terms of covering, the mistakes of others. And the reason number two, it's a blessing in disguise in a sense that we cannot go. Look, I think this was the 13th game for Pirates, and they had not lost for 12 games. Now it was a blessing in disguise that we lost on this cup, so that when we go for CAF, at least we go prepared and knowing that Abokim Viewed, given a chance, they are not coming to the party, so for me, I would want to believe that this was the way of Rivero saying, let me give these other guys a chance and let me see where do I stand going forward in the other cups. And we now know where we stand. We now know that Abokim Viewed, we can only rely them on the last 10 minutes of the game, and depending whether we are winning or not. Look, I still think that even this new guy from Angola, who's this one? Gilberto. I still think he's not coming to party. I don't know whether he's slow or what, but I still believe that he's still very far in terms of making the 18 men squad, but I think Magesi, for me, it's a blessing in disguise. I don't want to lie, that we had lost this game so that it becomes a wake-up call. Tomorrow we are playing against SuperSport, and let me tell you, OT, I believe it's going to be a draw tomorrow, and I believe we are going to concede a goal because of errors from our defenders. I don't think Orlando Pirates' defense is stable right now. We really need Oki back. I'm telling you, we really need Oki back. Sibisi is out. Sibisi is out. I don't even understand what is he still doing over Bafana. He's out in jail. So this boy Sasani needs a man who has leadership skills like Oki. That's the guy we can rely on. Thank you so much, Oti.
Thank you so much, Pitso. Guys, next panel is going to be Sundowns. So we're going to speak about Sundowns next. So if you're in the queue, please, if you don't want to speak Sundowns, please can you get a little bit. We're going to do Sundowns, we're going to do Chiefs. Then if we have a little bit of time, we'll go into what the quarterfinals have for us, those who are still inside. All I want to say about this game is, there's two things I always say about Pirates. Number one, I think Pirates is the most dangerous team in the league. They just don't have consistency. They get killed by their own errors, and sometimes most of those errors are mental, which goes to number two, which is that Pirates is a very emotional team. And, Malume Kutso is one of the examples I use, because the day before the game in the group, there's a WhatsApp group, the day before the game, he was very low about the game. And then when you start seeing the patterns, you see the fans are low, the stadium is empty, the starting lineup is the starting. You start to see that the game doesn't matter to them. And I think what we saw was what you fear of Pirates at times, that if a game doesn't feel big to them, where they've resigned themselves to, we don't win this trophy, all of that stuff, then they lapse. And where that becomes important is, there's going to be tons of games this season. If they really do want to go win the league, if they really do want to go do well in CAF, if they really do want to win the other things, those are the games that you have to win. Because Magesi didn't do anything special in this game, let's be honest. Magesi didn't do anything special. They weren't there. They just took advantage of some of the errors that Pirates makes a lot. Malume Kutso speaks about height. I don't even think those were height problems. I think the problem with Pirates was that defense, the same thing we say about the Pirates defense all the time. You can't have your left and right back gone, because now you're stuck with a situation on the right-hand side or left-hand side. And there was a point where Usbisi, before the Golia Abrams the cross was played in, Usbisi looked at the guy who eventually scored, looked back and they didn't go, they didn't shift, they didn't communicate, they didn't talk. And free header, that had happened 2 or 3 times up to that point in that game. And the other thing that Pirates has to watch out for before I go to another one, to the other guys, is that I'm worried about the rest of the team. I've been telling you guys for years that I don't worry about Pirates' first team. Pirates' first team is incredible. They know each other, they play. My worry is that bench, and are those players ready? And maybe the one lesson you can take from this is that you have to have, I'm going to call them babysitters, and I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm going to call them babysitters. Your Ndas, your Titos, because those players, other players, play off of them. So Sesane looks incredible because he's got an experienced center back next to him who wins the ball, who moves the defense. Aborile and the front line look great because there's Utito there in the middle. So maybe going forward, you have to look to your other senior players and say, okay, if I don't play a Tito and those type of players, I need to bring in Ndondlo, I need to bring in Mtetwa, I need to bring in, I don't know, a team to come in there and be the guys that hold the middle, that tell these guys. Remember, a lot of these guys are young. Kimviudi, Rasibucha, Dlamini in the midfield. I don't know how the moment you saw that thing, that lineup, and then you saw the difference when Tito came in and everything changed. And then you could tell, good time, man, now we're pushing. When Rasibucha was pulled, you have to be able to create that a lot this season. Do you know why? Because now, as Uvelile says, Paris is about to play 4 games in 10 days. That's going to be the season. There's going to be a time where CAF comes in and kicks in. There's going to be a time when you've played somewhere in Africa and now you're 2 days later, you have to play another game. And now you have to trust the other guys. And the question I've been asking people was that, do you trust those guys on the bench? And has Jose used them enough for them to be integrated into the team? There's a reason why you can't look at Ndondlo, for example. He fell off last season. But anyway, I think that's the, Saleng, Nomsa. Saleng looks good when Tito's there because Tito knows how to play to Saleng. But when you start seeing Saleng drop back, guys, Pirates usually doesn't have a right side when they're playing. It's usually all up the left, then Saleng if there's space. The moment you break down those things, it's like you start seeing them fall apart. But anyway, guys, let me get into the next panel. Please remember, guys, you have to be, this is the Sundowns panel. Sundowns panel. So please, Sundowns people, please jump in. Thank you, Papa Khosi, for the gifts. Guys, 9 o'clock, Lindo's show is coming in. The TTB show is going to be starting at 9 o'clock directly after this show. At Lindo Pep, if you want to watch him break down the game with a whole bunch of other guests on that side. Let me bring in the Sundowns people so that we can have a conversation about Sundowns' 5-0 win versus Golden Arrows. Sundowns, of course, won 5-0 versus Golden Arrows. 18 shots, 9 on target versus Golden Arrows, 6 shots, 3 on target. 62% of the possession versus 38. 484 passes versus 299. Goals came in from Morena Reynas. Vala Shalulile is back in, and then Litako. So that is how that game broke down. Hey, guys. Please, guys, if you don't want to speak about the team, it's a little bit confusing when I know some people are not here for Sundowns. But anyway, let me start off. Kumo, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm exactly like, you know how I am. Why is Oruho going to score more than 4 goals?
Babang bakonsiile 3 mara ariamo. Kumo, how did you feel about this game versus Golden Arrows?
Well, before I call Kopela, one thing we address it, Brawak.
Okay.
Why would you say Barret they get the most dangerous team?
You're the most consistent. No. Okay, let me explain it. No, I can explain it very quickly. Pirates can heat up very quickly. Pirates is a microwave. Pirates, if they catch you on the wrong day, you'll catch 7. But the problem is, you don't know when that day is. It could be today. Tomorrow they could lose to Bakesi. The next day they lose. You guys, let's off, man. By the time you wake up, you've already been cooked. You've been cooking for 3 hours. You didn't know. By the time you wake up, Hashem. But Mangoba's changing that. Kumo, 4-0, 5-0 versus Arrows. How do you feel? Oh, Kumo. It seems like we've lost Kumo. Guys, can you still hear me? Agent, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We've lost Kumo. Okay, no, let's go ahead. We'll come back to Kumo. Agent 5-0. How is it?
Yeah, no, Chesampam. Unfortunately, Golden Arrows didn't score one, so that it can be like another result that I know, but that's fine. I think Sundowns is now the most dangerous team, eh? We should correct that. Sundowns used to be a slow cooker. Now you can catch hands quickly. But anyways, I think I'll give the other guys to talk about other people, but I want to focus on 2 people, Mvala and Kotsi. You know, I think people sometimes forget that I've always rated Mvala. You know, I'm one person who's always defended Mvala, you know, and I've always said Mvala is one of our best centre backs. You know, I even say he's one of the best centre backs in South Africa, but he's the most unlikeliest player that I know. He will drop a 9 out of 10 performance or even a 10 out of 10 performance and then make a silly mistake and then boom, you know, all that goes away. So I don't know how you cut in on that unluckiness. Maybe when he was injured, you know, he went home for some cleansing, hopefully, you know, but and he's gonna be very important in the Chiefs game. I know you're not there yet, but if there's any player who can handle Ranga, I think it's going to be Mvala. You know, because you saw him bullying Lebusa and bullying Kekana. So I think he wouldn't have that with the Dragon, you know. So I'm happy that Umbala is back and hopefully his unluckiness has went. Because that unluckiness, I think he would definitely be one of the top centre backs and we'll need him in AFCON. And then another player, I think Kotsie, as I say with Kotsie, 3 things, 3 P's, if you can put it that way. Position, possession, pass. That's what you get from Kotsie, you know. You know, and it's very interesting that we have 2 tickers or 2 people who are able to control the tempo of the game. You know, Kotsie and one Allende. You know, people who make the team tick. You know, just that Allende is able to play the game at one pace, you know, he's gonna give you 7 out of 10 always, just at that pace. But Kotsie is able to bring the tempo down, go it up, bring it down, you know, something that we used to do with Uzwani, you know. And it would be very interesting to see if we can have Kotsie, Tebza in that midfield, because I think they will balance each other out and will allow Tebza to go forward and also come back with that defensive cover, you know. And one thing that Kotsie is good at is he's able to defend the space. Yeah. He's good at defending the space. You'll never see him putting in a tackle. You'll never see him, you know, going for maybe a head or something, but he'll do the defensive work. That's one thing I like about Kotsie, you know. And another player I think that also deserves credit is Mokwena. Someone said it's like a new signing, and he is like a new signing, you know, and he's giving you that option. We know we're going to face Chiefs, so they're going to troublesome. No problem, you know, we can bring in Motaung for him. Team is sitting back, we can bring in Mokwena. That's good, you know. So yeah, but quickly on Golden Arrows, I think I was disappointed with the starting lineup. The moment Knox came in, he was able to raise the tempo up, you know. So I wonder why he didn't start. You know, so it puzzled me. And again, Maova, I think, is a very good keeper. I think, was he playing for Tax last season?
I think so.
Yeah, you know, and I was a very good goalkeepers. Watenga, remember, as a Sundowns loanee, and Maova, 2 quality keepers. I think quality goalkeeping wise, they're fine. I think they just need to have a better structure, have a better coach, and striker wise, I think Knox is a quality striker. He'll give you 10 goals, 9 goals at best.
Yeah. I
And
want to
then
ask you
lastly,
something.
Lukaku. Yeah,
No.
lastly, Lukaku,
Yeah.
mention. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something in the last 30 seconds. Tell me about how Mangoba is exposing the true depth of Sundowns, but also how he's managing bringing all these players in. I think it goes unnoticed. As you mentioned, Lukaku.
Yeah, no, that's another thing that goes under the radar. That forget about the side stories. Everybody knows that I can play, and the nice thing about this is you play well, you keep a position. You don't play well, you take you out, and that's the depth that maybe we'll need. And sometimes we're like Pirates last season where we have a very good 15 players, but the moment you rotate, it goes down, and someone is mentioning Lodge. Lodge came in and gave an assist, so it goes exactly to your point that he's exposing the depth that Sundowns looks, and the more these players play, the more they'll gain confidence, the more they'll be dangerous also. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let me go to Vuyo. Vuyo, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, my brother, and how are you?
Man, minangimnandi Vuyo. 5-0. How do you feel about the game?
Those things, OT, you expect them when the best team play, the best team in Africa, the best team in the continent, with the best players, with the best coach. So you can't. You must give credit when it's due.
Yeah.
I think we're cooking nice food now. Because the team is fast, is running fast when they attack. It's something Sundowns this one. So I can give credit when it's true. Mangoba is doing well, and all the players, they are coming to the party. And it was sour when we start, like any other season. Really, it's always like that. That's why it's 3 trophies when it's come to the MTN 8 for the whole time. So I think now we're starting to get there. But I'm OT ngizwela ubuhlungu awuthami fixture the fixture.
No worry, ngathi we've got our own chef.
Because mina vele I'm good to fix the country. I am the one who's fixing the country. Phela OT makungavuka wena ngisenkingeni. Ileyo kumele uyazi. Kwavuka iChiefs angisenkingeni. I must make sure ukuthi anvuki. Hey, I am the only one on the right ukuthi ngine power yokuthi Kaizer Chiefs icede 9 years this year without a trophy. If I beat them, they are going down OT. We'll see them next year. It is going to be 2024. So I got that power OT. Only Sundowns got that power in South Africa.
But before we how do you feel about the rotation at Mamelodi Sundowns? And do you think that maybe something is being fixed from how Rulani had done it? Not to say Rulani was wrong, but you're seeing different players, Botiwani, and all of these guys getting into this team. How do you feel about how Coach Mangoba and his team are doing that process, holding that process?
I mean, I'm very happy the way it's handling this process because we need all the players to come to the party. Ubonile bomzala weekend badlalisa ama players wabo, but hey, ungathi nje angazi bababoleke kuphi. But bathe ba ready. Sometimes OT iPies mazingakahlangani mfethu no abekho ready labantu. I can tell you they won't qualify if they play like this. Because kunama injuries, kunekhathala, kunama suspension. So lezi zinto lezo ngeke uzibalekele ku-football.
Yeah.
And ngiyanizwa nikhala ngotito hayi akuna tito next defense yabo bengiyakho labantu. Badlala ngathi ama-amateur. Ba-press player li-1 by 3 aba-press bayaguide. It was unprofessional lapha. But asikho kubo. I-Sundowns yami is doing well OT and thanks for the opportunity.
No. Thank you. Let me go to Gustavo. Gustavo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Sure, OT Fere.
Man, Gustavo. Gustavo, 5-0 Chisampam. How did you see the game?
Yangazi musingechi PV. Lately I'm abusive, Lately I'm abusive. High scoring team lately. You know, and it's good to see, man. It's good to see. It's good to see. It was inevitable, man. Because Arrows will be dominated. Arrows is at this point, you know, not disrespect to the coaches, but there's nothing there. You know, it's one of those teams whereby you just have to walk over them. They shouldn't make it difficult, you know. And we showed class by going there, dominating them, and putting out a master performance. You know, giving them no chance. Young Ton. So good game. Bekumnandi, man. Bekumnandi. It was good to see the boys. It was good to see Mvala back. Like Agent mentioned, Mvala is up there. It's for me, if not top 3, he is top 4 in the best centre backs in the country. You know, because he's good on the ball as much as he does make mistakes on the ball, but he's good on the ball. Remember, this is a guy who used to be a midfielder. You know, used to post it there in the centre defensive midfield role. You know, during his Highland Park days. You know, so Umnandi defensively is strong. He knows how to read the game. Aerially is a threat. He's good in defense in terms of when we're defending set pieces. You know, which is something you don't get from other players. You know, so we had a good performance against the Arrows, man. We had a good performance against the Arrows, and this will continue even to the quarterfinals. I think we'll see a good performance, even though, you know, the case of the Chiefs and the Sundowns, there's no big team. It's just who's in it to win it.
So then tell me, I want to ask you something. There's a pattern. I know it's nothing big right now. There's a pattern though. Manfea mama 60, 65 minutes, so it's almost like you let teams back in. And I know at times, like for example, at that point, I think you guys were 3-0 up or something like that. Do you worry that, man, that late concentration lapse might catch you out in some games because if Boni Kalan started playing towards the end, Boni Arrows getting chances towards the end. Is there something there that in losing control, man?
Ileo breather when I OT whereby that's when you need to make the subs. Okay. You know, that's when you need to make the subs whereby you know the first 11 is gonna give you something. They're gonna give you that high tempo, that directness. You know. But when those moments come, that's when you need to look to your bench and say, who's gonna up the tempo here? You know, like we saw it in the game whereby Abon also came in, Abon Litlaku came in, Abon Tabes came in, especially when Tabes came in. The spark came back in the team. You need that from your bench. You know, you need that guy to raise the level again instead of dropping it and cooling the game down. You don't need to cool the game down. You need those two guys to come off the bench and raise it. So I'm not really worried, because usually when I'll be worried if, you know, especially when it comes to teams like your Chiefs, your Pirates, you know, I'd be worried then, because it's not really, those games are not really a high scoring contest. They bring the game to you. You know, I'd be worried then. But with these smaller Nyana teams, I don't really have to worry, because
Marama semi-final Champions League. Minang pegela phela abo ES Tunis. Banshaya kanje ngama last minute.
Ngala last minute. Nabo Pirate nabo ngala last minute siyalala man. Salento yokulala athi ngisho njalo. So but you will see more of the players raising the tempo. Like you look at our bench, it's just too much, man. It's just too much. And it was, looking at the subs, it was quality for quality. I knew the tempo was gonna increase, even though we are bringing out Bo Ale and the Bo Ribeiro, you know. But the tempo was gonna increase. You have the general, the Mr. Football himself, or River, running the show. So the moment you bring in Ulotuzano, keep Ale and like he has to keep our two best players, Ufaga, other quality players, and crazy enough, there are guys they will still make their cameos. You look at my player Fana about Neoma. The moment he stamps his foot in the squad and say, okay, fine, I'm gonna become a regular substitute, it's just gonna be tough. You look at Mbule's performance. Mbule must come back from loan, and that's another player whereby if you sub him in, you know you're guaranteed to raise the level. The standard of football will be raised. You know, not to mention front three, it's okay. Game in, game out. You're guaranteed to goal, assist, goal, assist, goal, assist. You know, Matthews. And what I like about what Coach Mangawa did is, from what Coach Rulani did, Coach Rulani wanted most of the football players in the team to have the brains. Wanted the guys with the brains, the guys who are thinkers. You know, that's what he wanted in his team. And what Coach Mangoba has done now, not everyone is a thinker there. You look at the player, Fana no Luntuza, no Morena. Morena has that role. It's okay. There's no need for you to think much. Just we'll utilize your speed. We'll utilize that winger attribute that you used to have when you were playing Lotuzan back for Bloemfontein Celtics, whereby you saw the goal scored. Brilliant goal. You know, it's a simple run, just a pass, run, shoot. You know, you look at the player, find Nabo Reyners. He used Reyners' best strength. He's not a ball player. Just let him run in behind. You know, get those goals. Then Umnandi. So it's gonna be a nice one. It's gonna be a nice one. And watch out, Oti. Watch out.
Okay.
And allegedly, before 16, allegedly, do everything you can to your fans also. If you have to bribe allegedly. If you VAR, allegedly.
Right,
If you want
Gina.
VAR.
Sharp, Gustavo. Let me go to Kumo. Kumo, are you okay now? Are you good? Are you back?
Yeah, man. I had to sort out those gremlins. I'm back.
Oh,
Can you hear
hey. Koloi kill.
me? Yeah, I get you from Namara. It's sharp.
Come on, 5 minutes.
Yeah. 5-0, ne? It could have been more.
Yeah.
Our front three is the deadliest I've ever seen in a very long time. It reminds me of front three, Eliabo, Gareth Bailey, Yabo Ronaldo. I hope all
Yeah.
Ashifa rekrele here in Mozanzi, ne? Marke Boroganto ka one ka Rebero can be so nonchalant at times. And le meshes ona lo itebala scored like more than 8 goals. Inkele high score. Okay, a higher score. It's already a high score, but it could have been in higher score margin. Because I felt like there were some times we let go holding arrows. They were like not to concede more. Ne? Guys, I wanna highlight Mfono waka man. Go River Goods here. What a talent, ne? What a talent. He really showed up. He really showed her why he was the best talent and why he was in Bafana consistently before these injuries. Limited Makawa dealing to go overseas. Eriko offering for a second.
Okay.
You know how the weakest team more the previous draw, which is Magis, even Tile Pirate out. Last week it was a debate Honagamo, but cup games are much more difficult to attend compared to the league. So think about this one, OT. Imagine if Magesi actually wins this tournament. Are they gonna say this tournament is much more prestigious to the league? Do you get my point? I like to be proven right. So my point sometimes you can get lucky to win. Well, sometimes you bribe your officials and get the favorable draws. Allegedly, it's difficult. League, you have to be consistent. Every time it's difficult to win a league. But yeah, man, and happy. I'm fixing the country, especially you, OT. Stop saying or Pirate can go pound to pound with Sundowns the player. Even their best starting lineup I feet.
When did I say that?
Gay YouTube, it never forgets. It can never forget. Never forget. With the Pirates has been the second best team, but their starting lineup can go pound to pound. Look at us, ne? We lost our talisman. We lost someone who's important, not only for Sundowns, but also for Bafana. Unfortunately, we forgot to Nastinka this weekend. Or how good we are. The players that we have and got different combinations. Like, name any other team who PSL or even in Africa can start the game as mokwena consistently. It's Motaung. And still produce those high quality games and high score. Peter Shalulile, how many times Asagori, and you know how quality of a player he is, even though get happy, but I'm glad he scored. There's are no competition, are no competition. And I like how you mentioned Renalo who's robala, especially got 60 to 75 minutes. It's true, but I think right now, if it really died then because of the people that we substitute, Banyako prove a point to coach, I get right now we're gonna go according to the conspiracy theories of Mangoba Onyago Panisha Mokwena.
Yeah.
And why you go Sundowns, once you don't perform, Ojagi scheme. So everyone will wanna make a statement. Like right now, as a coach now, or one when little came really. Now, as a coach, you have a headache, which is a good headache. Are you gonna play him next game or not? Or you gonna put him on a bench to make sure he's much more hungrier so he can produce such qualities again?
Yeah.
And Mabena is writing exams. I get a kid metric exam. No. So like Nahana Habu, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen with he? Right now, I feel like this Sundowns squad can go further, can do wonders, especially especially good to go CAF or Talohag.
Okay.
We think it's a hug.
Yeah.
Okay. No answer.
No, negative for time.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. Group. Benefits. Benefit time. Sharp.
Okay. Okay, here's my thing. I still believe that starting lineup on any given day, if you were to say a random game, Pirates and Sundowns are not that far from each other. Like I said, Pirates' problem is mental. Sundowns is just consistent. Sundowns wins the 1-0 game. Sundowns makes draws. Well, last year Sundowns make draws into wins. Very few teams can make draws into wins. And Pirates, like I said, you don't know who's going to show up. You don't know if it's going to be a good game or a bad game or whatever. But anyway, I don't want to get too much into that. I want to speak about three things when it comes to Mamelodi Sundowns. When I told you guys that Coach Mangoba was having teething problems, as you do when you take over a team, I remember a lot of people complaining. I think Coach Mangoba had to also figure himself out and figure out how to make this team his, but also use the things that had come before. I remember saying that Coach Rulani got a good 6-7 months for him to get his idea of Sundowns when he took over, and then get a preseason and then be able to run. That's when you saw chameleons and things like that. So Coach Mangoba needed some time in order to find his way. And I think what's important to Mamelodi Sundowns for me, RMR. I see RMR, Ribeiro, Matthews, Reynolds. I see it. Like a CAR, car. Kutsia, Allende, Ribeiro. Sundowns has something that a lot of PSL teams don't have. And it's down the middle of that team. You have Kutsia, who can fetch the ball from the back and then play it up to the middle. He can carry the ball to the middle. He can pass. He can also do defensive duties. Chiefs fans, what do we complain about in the middle? Then you have Allende, who then almost does that role of picking up the ball and then going into the middle, whether it means going to the sides or whatever. When River brings the ball up, Allende can take over. They can play together from deep. And then you have now, I think, Ribeiro at number 10 is an incredible player, man, right now. When he doesn't have the burden of having to play with Zwane and having to play with Shalulile, I don't mean this in a bad way. Now he can occupy those spaces and free the other two up front. right? So up front, if you see a lot of the goals, it's pace, they've caught you off transition, they're able to hold the ball at the back a little bit or in the midfield if they need to, and then when it comes time, they can hit you as quickly as possible. And I think that was the balance that Coach Mangoba was trying to find in being controlling the ball, but then also pushing when you need to push, being fast. Camilo and Rulani controlled the ball, but they weren't dangerous in front, as dangerous. I think putting away his ego and saying, Reyners, I'm going to stop playing you down the middle. If you watch the first few games, Reyners was running down the middle. Now, salesmen, they will say sales. Have you guys forgot about who sales? And then he's gone. I'm going to play you the way that we play, the way that Stellenbosch played you. Two-man counter. It was Reyners and Van Veek or Reyners and Titus. But what they do is they break as quickly as possible to go and push that team. Try and catch your people off guard. Try and go wide. We've seen the thing happen a few times now where the right and left backs, that's the spaces that Reyners and Matthews like to take, especially on counter. I don't want to speak about golden arrows because I hate golden arrows. The last thing I want to speak about is what I enjoy most about Coach Mangoba right now is he's using a bulk of that squad. He's figured out how to bring in other players and move others out and maybe bring others in at certain times. Mabue was starting. You're seeing Kemang Bomvala coming back, and other times it was Libusa. I think he's using that depth very well, and that means that there's always going to be warm players on the bench. What I argue about is having warm players. What killed Sundowns towards the end of last season, in my opinion, especially in those last few weeks, was you have all of these good players, but now Mokwena's injured and it's lit. You don't know where to go. You look at Pirates versus the Makesi. You've taken out Tunda, you've taken out this player, you've taken out these players. Now Spisi has to come in, even though they've played, 11 or 12, 13 games. He's only featured in maybe one. And Nakona, I think it was a substitute appearance or a couple of sub appearances. He's not warm. Abokim Vihude are not warm. All those guys are not warm. Whereas now you're seeing Abo Lodge getting some time. You're seeing other players getting some time. And that means later on, you'll get to see all those guys when they're needed and called upon because they're being rotated in now. So that's an interesting part. The only thing that Sundowns has to look out for me personally, is just the last part of games. I don't think you have to pace up in the last part of games. I don't think you have to go and, play them off the pitch and bring Naboloch and all of those guys. I think there's an element sometimes of control that you need because going into the last parts of games, there's so much running sorry guys, my TikTok is doing something here. Yeah, so there's all this running and it's a frantic game, and that's where you saw Gallant start playing their good football. That's where you saw Arrows, who hadn't been in this game, come out and start playing football. And I don't think Sundowns wants to play football. Ronwen Williams is saving shots that maybe he shouldn't be facing at that time, and it's not because the other team is playing well. And maybe when it comes to tighter games and you go into Africa and you need to go win those games, that's maybe that little bit where ES Tunis catches you out. When you go to sleep for even just a little bit in that time, they catch you out and they score. Bo, we did. The final was an on goal, but they catch you out and score. Those are the things that you need to worry about. I don't necessarily think that will be in the league, but you know the history with Cups, with them and Pirates, what Pirates does to them at the end. Those are the things you need to look out for. Anyway, let's move on to the last game that we're going to be analyzing. Please, in the comments, please, I need Chiefs fans. We're going to be speaking about Chiefs in the last part. And then if we have a little bit of time, I think we'll speak about the draw and how we feel about it and where we're going from there. So please, Chiefs. I need Chiefs people here. Prati. Let's go to the hey. Okay, let me see. Sorry, guys, it's busy jumping. I don't know why, but we are going to be talking Chiefs right now. Guys, let's scream. And also, 9 o'clock, Lindo Pep's show is going to start. So at Lindo Pep, you'll be able to watch his show at 9 o'clock. So at Lindo Pep on TikTok, and you'll be able to watch his show, the Tactical Technocrat Breakdown Show. That's a lot more technical of a show. So please, 9 o'clock, you can head on over that side. Let me just get everybody in. Prati.
Yezikozi, elele mali, yezikozi, elele ayaya, awile makosi, awile. Bro, ujwa.
Man, I recorded for Kimunati. It doesn't matter. Prati, funny, we want to drink it.
Erike hopotse ba bagisanye kere kana ba dilo bokae ke utlwile commentator e ngwa ke tsiki akae ba re 1 2 3 araka ke di bala le 1 re di bale ka ofela game brauti bua nete enele monate re tla lile sharp even though first half ne re se mo gaming jalo super sport ne re gateletse ke fela gore super sport bothata ba bone ba ria thata mo nthong mo di set pieces di set pieces ke anyone's ball ha ba tshwana go tshepela thata mo selong bothata ba bone ke gore ba tshepetse thata mo di set pieces ene le sa mantla ke bona super sports like combine at least mo middle fielder wa teng ba gateletse Kaizer Chiefs like ke gona go bona ba re ke mafano na tshameka mo garo wa o tswang Pirates ba re ke mangana o mkhutsano
Ofi
ba re ke mang ke tla mo gopola man o
okay.
Ndlovu abut ya Ndlovu ke gona go bona Ndlovu le sano ka ba go bua nnete ba tla le shapo no gona go bona ba combine le ba le matshosezi thata mo Kaizer Chiefs ke nagana gore Chiefs ile ya boa ka second half ba tla ka di plans tse le gore di good ra ba gatelela le combination ke nagana gore Serino o re thusitse thata mare ba re ya ka ke Marte bua nnete ke wa re tika Marte because of Marte ha re fe na go bua nnete ha re fe ntho e re tlhokang ko midfield re tlhoka gore at least ba tshamkise Blomo go ka nna kaone mare ganyane ke nagana gore Chiefs ya tsoga ke nagana gore ba ka mo rekela di player ka January a di tlogo ya khakala super sports le one
o tlisitseng man o tlisitseng Nabi ko teaming in how stable o etsalang ke nga itshintshile re wine ka bo mafodi
ke nagana gore Nabi o tlisitse ntho engwe like a fighting spirit le energy ke nagana gore bafana like ba bere ka bona gore last season ne re khona go tshameka go dlala go bona gore tota bafana ha ba lapa like ba give up gona le mo ba tlang ba give up mo o tlisitse energy like team ya e bereka yo ba defender botlho gona a no khona go bona ba re ke mafana nyano duba a tswa ko pele a go zama a go defender ko morago kwa like this energy like o tlisitse a fighting spirit le winning mentality ke nagana ke tsone tse le gore Nabi o improve le team ya which is good and it will benefit us somehow because of yes we go up on teams we are not quality when that like bo Pirates bo Sundowns in the Pirates le Sundowns di na le quality but it go thusa ke ntwe re bitsang gore like wa peya wa build go tshwanetse to build a fighting spirit gore re utlisa di player tse le gore di good o tlisa di player tse le gore di good o khona go a tseba gore ke khona gore ke go tlisa di player tse fentse di a go nna ya ka bo Serino so gore Serino ha tlisa at least ha Serino ka go bala tshwanetse be re tseba gore re na le replacement because ha Serino ka go bala re tlo go kopana le mathata brauti mo le mare ke nagana gore bafana nyana ba le bone ba ithuta like Serino o ba fa hope yo bo mdusha ba lala ke khona go bona le bone ba tshimolola ba tla ganyane yes ha ba mo lebeneng la ya ga Mofokeng because of Mofokeng ke star but ke khona go ba bona ganyane le ba bereka thata bo vilakazi coaching ya tla mo go bone ganyane ba lena mare go gone ke a go solofetsa bra o tira ra ya ba re ska ra win cup because of yes you have to win cups but no ya ga re ska ra win cup season e at least ke na gana gore nabi a ka risa mo position 4-5 a ka re ba mo
No, Prati, taki, Ireko Tebza, welcome to the show. How are you? Man, Kimnati Tebza, 4-0. When last?
Rigetli uti. Re bile mo uti. Fasa brutale tjadi. Relaxing.
Oi, what is one game?
Ayo di kalere la wetu. Ke lile ka be ka tloya PSL ka tloa mo go ntsobolela ka PSL ka lebella EPL fela ke wile beno ke le tabo fela wa bona ke ntshwereng ya kae. At least we are watching something. Let's be happy about our team. Now, like about the game in general, it was a matter of seeing Kaizer Chiefs improve. How is it progressing? You understand? From the beginning of the season, where we saw Kaizer Chiefs performing felt like a first half and then second half, and then it and all that. And I said it already. They are still getting used to how the coach wants them to play, the intensity of the coach. And they are getting there, they are getting fitter by the game. You understand? You see them finishing game stronger now. You saw them got game last Sundowns, so they finished the game stronger. Even the previous game here, Super Sport, they finished the game stronger. So that's a huge positive to be consistent from minute 1 until the last minute. So it's a huge improvement also. And then our play, it has also improved because now we can see how the Chiefs how they start their play. The combinations are there. The Serino, we can see. You understand? Kamola siding, Kamola Dubai combining well with the fullbacks and all that. Lebo Ranga getting those chances. I hope the guys start scoring those chances. But then it's another positive that we are creating a huge amount of chances. That's a positive as well. It shows that if we are crying about missing chances, now it means now we can get someone who can come in and just bury those chances. We're not saying, hey, we must get a striker, whereas we're not creating chances. So now we are creating chances. It is up to our strikers to show up on there. We deserve to be here to don this jersey. We can score those goals. You don't have to go out there and buy any other striker. I'm here. So Boranga, they must just score goals, or else Nabi will go out there and find strikers who will convert those chances, because there are too many chances. And I mean clear-cut chances. I think already have chance and all that. No, clear-cut chances. It's disappointing when it comes to that department.
So then, Debza, tell me about the midfield, man. Midfield, the defense, still a bit shaky at times.
Yeah, we're going to give it a bit of time, because remember, he didn't get to sign the player rated in Chitelongoro, and then he's still looking at other players, giving them a chance. Sorry, when he releases them, he knows that he has seen enough. You understand? So we are well aware that we are still missing a midfielder that will link our defense and our midfield. So I think in due course he will find that link. You understand? I think he sees that as well. He will have to go out there and get the player. And right now, as I watch these games, some of PSL, I can't find that particular player that
I was going to ask you. Yeah. I wanted to ask you.
So we cannot see that. but then it means now he should go outside or maybe come with DDC. As you see what we managed to get Abu Duba. We are happy about them. We managed to get Abu Zwan, who are improving by the game. Ndu exceptional. I can go on and on and on about Ndu. He's exceptional and he's improving and maturing quicker than I expected. You understand? He holds the ball when he has to. He releases it when he has to. I think in few games he'll be called up at Bafana. Give him some time, you'll see he'll be called up. He plays like a matured player right now. He doesn't do any unnecessary things when he doesn't have to. So he manages to do the right things when he has to. So yeah, we will get that balance. OT, we will get it. Araska Warang. Let's just enjoy the moment and the flow of the game. So Arveng happy. Ravalata happy. What's her feeling? Arvalating happy.
Okay. No, Tebza, thank you. Let me bring in Soweto Chen. Zalaba, welcome to the show. How are you?
So OT, how's it?
But I'm good. Wait, before I ask you anything, do you still stream?
Yeah, but I'm a gamer.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Call of Duty and stuff.
Guys, if you want a Call of Duty streamer, now Soweto Chen, man. Soweto Chen, tell me, funny. How do you feel about it?
I feel good, OT. I feel good. The team is standard. I can see Unavi. He's not yet at that point. Kaizer Chiefs, but I'm happy. I'm happy with what I'm seeing from the team. You know, especially the defense. Nowadays they are being more disciplined, and that's all we need, man, from the defense. You don't need those good defenders like Abu Muta. We don't need those guys. They can stay there with Sundowns. We are good with the late defenses now in Jingamanji. They are being disciplined, and I like that about them because I've seen Inter in the past. I'm a player committer, like I'm a defender committer without no reason.
Yeah.
The keeper as well. We've seen Peter in a committer, and Kune was also in that same sickness now. Same thing. They were committing and making silly mistakes, and we were being punished for that. But now, Untwari is not the best, yes, but he's got the discipline that he needs. His defense is structured, man. Now we can see Uti, they do have coaching right. They can make good decisions in the defense. I'm happy to see that with Chiefs. I don't need anything more. And then going to the other parts, I still think we are lacking in the middle. But I think the only problem, Umad, not to bash anyone, but I think he needs some time to figure himself out as well. I would like to see him out, and then bring in more players. Maybe Blom, because that position I got alive. I feel like Umat is running. He's covering a lot of ground. You can see him sweating, but you don't see him in the game. But he's all over. And Umat knows how to play that position. Blom knows how to play that position. Yeah. He can make good passes like Blom. We've seen him. We've seen Blom defeating Sundowns at some point with a killer pass, and Zuma scored a goal that day, and we're very happy. So yeah, on the middle field, Uzwani is not playing well because he's playing alone. So sorry to say that. I know it hurts, man. But that boy is playing alone because all the time he has to find someone at the front. In the middle part.
Yeah. Maje,
So
I want you to take me through the whole team. Do you think that you'd change anybody else? So you've spoken about Umar for Blom. Do you see any other changes you'd make in that team?
yes, a lot. Because Oti, when Unabi Afiga, I thought he was going to pick certain players, for his starting lineup, especially I like what he's doing now, but I think we have other players that he could have picked, like Potane, Modi. Those are some of the players I don't see also on the bench. You know, I don't know if they're doing anything wrong in training. I don't know what's the problem there, but these are the players I trust. I've seen them playing, I've seen them on their bad days as well, but I think they have the right capabilities as well. But the youngsters are doing a good job. Like Utuba, man, he played his heart out on the Super Sport game, you know. I think, yeah. But I would love to see another thing. Is super sub. You know, so some days you will need a super sub. Not all the time, but sometimes they win you matches. You know, Ungobo, I think can be that player. Especially as maybe a false number 9 or a striker, because he can score. He can defeat defenders. He can pass as well. Maybe a false number 9 would be a better position. You know, playing behind Chivaviro sometimes could also be an option for him. Yeah.
No. Thank you so much. Remember, guys, Call of Duty streamer. If you want to go watch people get shot in the head, now go so it's a chance to go. Let me go to Musi. Babusana, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey man, OT, how's it, my man? I'm good, and yourself, man?
You know, when a game ends and I can put up 2 Chiefs signs and I can tell you the score, I'm happy. Tell me, how did you feel about this game?
Yeah, OT, I don't think there's a Chiefs fan that is not happy after this weekend. Seeing our neighbors going down again, that makes it worse. So we are on top of the moon. So, OT, man, before I get into this, with due respect, man, can I just ask, I respect Sundowns a lot. That's a very good team. I respect them. But, OT, for me, it's a disgrace to see the stadium empty like that. I mean, there's big players there. I will ask the Sundowns fans, please, let's go out and support our teams. I watched Pirates. It was nice. You saw the crowd. I watched Sundowns. I watched Chiefs. It was the crowd was there. So with due respect, man, Sundowns fan, can we please support? There's good players there. There's a lot of good players in Sundowns team. It's quality. Coming back to our game, I think OT, we won the game, but as you know exactly that you need a foundation to build a team. I think the clean sheet will give Ntwari, because for me, Ntwari is a very good goalkeeper, but he's still, I can still see something. It's a bit shaky when it comes to other things. I don't know if it's a crowd or something, but I think if he gets it right, he settles that, okay, now I'm playing for Kaizer Chiefs. He must also expect the crowd to. When Chiefs is playing well, we'll have the crowd. Will come to the stadium. So I think that the nerves comes from the fans. So I think he needs to settle and then he will come right. And looking at OT, I don't know if I'm right, but when I grew up, I was told that the team is a spine. Nabi's got Inacio, he's still looking for that CDM, but he's got Chivaviro up front. And he's got Ntwari at the back. That's the spine. That's what we're talking about when we talk about the team. When you assemble the team, even Pep Guardiola will tell you he's got Rodri, he's got Diaz, and he's got his number 9 up front. So I think if we can get someone, the CDM, I saw Zwane played very well. He played very well, that boy. But we need a Katsande type that will complement Zwane, say, go and do your thing. Let me sit here. Whatever comes here, I sweep. So I don't think we have that thing. Looking at the upcoming games, I think he will get it right, because at the moment I can tell you the 70% of the players, when Chiefs is playing, I will tell you the starting lineup. 70% I will tell you this is what, of which previously we couldn't say that. With our plumber, the Johnson, you couldn't even tell who's going to start in the polls. But now you can tell what Nabi is doing. 70% you will tell that Chivaviro obviously will start up front, whether you like it or not. If Sirino is fit, he will start in that game, whether you like it or not. The two pairing at the back, which is Inacio and my best left-footed centre half, arguably the best in South Africa at the moment, Dudley. He's comfortable on the ball. He plays those passes when he wants to. He can, he's like a midfield that we need that will determine the pace of the game.
Yeah.
But he does it from the back. So I think for now, Nabi is doing a great job. So, Oti, I want to ask you, if we say a team has quality, what are we talking about when we say we have quality, when we say the team has quality? Because I look at Sundowns, when they say they've got quality, they change the team, they still win. The other team, when they say they've got quality, they change the team, they lose. So when you talk about quality, what are you actually referring to? That's my question, even to those who are not on the panel. Please, I'm asking that question because I want to know, when we talk about quality, what are we exactly talk about? Because Sundowns can change the team and they will still get the results. But I saw the team that changed the mostly 50% of the players, but they didn't get the result against the rookies in the PSL. Remember, the back four of that team never played in the PSL before.
Okay.
So let me not waste
plus. I'll answer it when I jump in. Let me bring in Stereophonic. Stereophonic, welcome to the show. Taki. Stereophonic, how are you?
OT, what's up?
Yeah, it's been a while, my brother. Where have you been?
Hey, man. Ask no questions, hear no lies. But you know, I always jump in, but I always jump in late. So, but I always check your match review. So don't worry, I'm always there.
Okay. Funny. How do you feel about this game?
Hey, I'm in two minds. I mean, towards the end of last season, I would remember a video by Julius Malema when, like, we look at Kaizer Chiefs players, they're just there to be there. It's like we left it in God's hands. That's how we were playing. And then when Nabi came in, I actually sort of questioned the signings. I was like, okay, solid. It seems solid, but I have realized that not only the attitude has changed, but he has brought in leadership at the back. With Miguel, I'm so happy. Because this is a signing we've been wanting probably for the past 5-6 seasons. And we got somebody like Inacio. With Dotley, I'm impressed. I think with Dotley, once that partnership works, I know it'll be a very, very much a feared partnership. But my problem is that midfield. I guess what about Braibile Mangore, Marte and Ano Chalape, that's Horaski, there's something wrong there. Maybe Chanjer Misha Boyni, Agrenian or something from ZCC, I don't know. But then the midfield, my concern is that we don't have, once again, that anchor. That anchor, not only that can drop, but also start the play if we start from the midfield. So I'm pretty much impressed with our forwards. I'm impressed with our defense, because I know with Nabi, it looks like even a plan B is sort of there. So I'm confident this season. I'm not gonna say we're gonna win any trophies, but I'm confident. I'll be probably the happiest Chiefs fan for maybe the past 5 seasons. So like I'm happy with regards to the game. It could have been more, but there could have been, if you were a punter, you were sure of both teams to score some way somehow because of the chances created. But I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I just didn't want Sundowns. Maybe in the semi-final, not at the stage. That's one thing I can say. Not at this stage. We still got some cooking left. Just to finish off the dish. We have the starch, we have the veggies. It's 7 colors. So, but I trust Chef Nabi. Chef Nabi will make the pots happen, man.
But then can I ask? Is it all about getting new players, or can we make it work with the players we have, similar to what's happening up front? I mean, outside of Sirino, who's new, you still have the same Abu Dubai have been around. Chiva, I think it's his 3rd season now with Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken. can you make it work with Bo Marti, with Bo Castillo, with Bozwane, Bo Mato? Hey, we've got a team of people. Is there a way to make that work?
Okay, yes and no. I think yes in the sense that I think most Chiefs fans, when they look at our midfield, they'll mostly point out to the two behind Sereno.
Okay.
But then we look at, okay, who's putting the most effort? Because now you look at, if you put statistics into it, I think Mart is one of the players that most of our turnovers in that midfield, he's usually the culprit. Zwane, there is some form of improvement. So I can say, yes, we can work with what we have. Especially now bringing in Blom is probably one signing I was pretty much happy about. So, and then as far as signings are concerned, what we've noticed now, it's no longer that thing where we're signing for vibes, but we can see that, okay, this is sort of what Nabi wants out of a player. So that's why I say yes and no, because I can see which Chiefs player that maybe can try his best to work on, especially in the midfield. Because with our forward line, you can see there's a plan A with Ranga, then there's a plan B where you find that Ashley Dupree is involved. So I like that. But with the midfield, I think everyone can see that the midfield is sort of that missing piece, because now the leadership at the back, I'm happy with our defenders. I'm happy.
Okay,
So far,
okay.
I'm happy.
No, Stereophonic, thank you so much for joining me. Okay, guys. Remember, Tata screen 143. Let's try get to 60 by the time the live ends. And also 9 o'clock, Lindo Pep. His show starts at 9 o'clock. The technical technocrat breakdown show, TDP. He's on at 9 o'clock. I just want to say a few words about Unabi. I think, for me, it's not necessarily the scores. It's not the signings. For me, it's got nothing to do with that. I think there's a feel that your coach brings to a club. And I think Nebi has brought back to the club. I think there's a belief at the club. And, that is a very important thing for a team like Kaizer Chiefs. I've often said here that Kaizer Chiefs, it's not necessarily that you need to have the best guys and all of that stuff, but you need confidence to play for Kaizer Chiefs. You need confidence for Chiefs to get back where it was. Say what you will about us winning the leagues and the Champions Leagues and not winning those things. There was always a confidence at Kaizer Chiefs, and I think over the past few years, what had happened was we'd gotten so low that even Nabo Coach Bet, when you look at Coach Ntseki, and how Aramas Kepsel, you look at Coach Zwane, you look at Coach Kevin Johnson, you watch them when the game is on and things are going wrong. Now, they are said, but there's Pansy. They're doing all of these things, man, and there was no trust in the club. There was no confidence in the club. And now you're watching the players find themselves in matches and play and do all of these things, man. Even when you go down and we're losing, there's still a little bit of something. He said it in a press conference that even if we're losing, keep your heads up. You watch him, if you watch on the sidelines and he's up and down and running and he's trying to push the players and he's trying to do whatever, the way he speaks about the players, sometimes it's not just an arrogance thing. Sometimes it's also a support thing. When he speaks about players, you hear him in the press conferences when he speaks about Ranga. They asked him about Ranga after the game and he said, yeah, Ranga needs to gain that thing back and, we're going to keep pushing him. He'll get there. When he spoke about Abu Duba, he's spoken about a bunch of players. You see that there's somebody who wants to win. The other thing I really love about Coach Nebi is the small changes that we see every single game. There's the small changes. You can now tactically tell what Chiefs is doing from week to week. For example, at the beginning of the season, Kaizer Chiefs was too hyper. They would come out and be hyper for 25 minutes and then they'd be gone for the next 65 minutes. Everybody would be done. Cross would be dead on the left-hand side, not being able to push. What we saw in the Supersport game was a little bit of composure. These are things that he's working on. You knew that Supersport loves long throws into the box or whatever. what did you see? You start seeing Zwane jumping up and down in front of the throw-in taker. I know these things feel minor, but we didn't see a progression week in and week out. We didn't see a plan. We'd be watching Chiefs and I wouldn't be able to tell you what was happening on the pitch or why we were doing this or why we were doing that. He's gotten the front line working very well. I think Sirino is a very, 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 very important player to Kaizer Chiefs. He's the thinker of the front four, and we've lacked thinkers. He might be playing a little bit too wide at times, but he's the thinker. He's the guy who gets the ball and plays ball through. Guys, how many times did I say here that I don't think Rangachiva Vairo is a bad player? I don't think Chiefs has bad players. I just think for a very long time, a lot of those players were being asked to do things that they haven't done in their careers. Rangachiva Vairo is a guy who builds a defense. He's good with his head. He likes balls played through where he can run and kudluza people. We never used to see that. Now you're seeing it. Umdu can run around now because now he's got a little bit of direction. Abo Duba can come and support and do all of those things. So that's the front side. I still feel like our defense is a little bit shaky, but it's not because the players are bad. And this is something I've said to you guys. You can go back on YouTube. It's not because the players are bad. I feel that the roles are undefined right now, similar to what was happening in front. I feel as though our two midfielders in front of the defense, instead of making them do this and they're alternating. Nyasala hamba or Nyasala hamba. They're not yet communicating well there and it's catching them off. So we need at least a single pivot, somebody who's just going to sit in front of the defense. And even if it means you're just closing that space, you don't have to do too much. Just have somebody there so that when when Frosler runs out to go meet the guy, that's a new thing that Chiefs is doing in that game. He runs out to go meet the winger and they trust the back three. You need to have one of the midfielders drop inside, make it a 4 again, so that when Miguel goes to support Frosler, Miguel's always on the right-hand side line. Then we know that there's somebody who's going to be there for Dotley, and you can keep having the 3, right? If you don't do that, then you need those two wingers to come back and support, but it's too far, I think. So it's just about knowing each other's roles there. The nice thing about Kaizer Chiefs this season is that last season they used to be bad in defense and have nothing going forward. Now you have to be scared of Kaizer Chiefs going forward. They can score goals. Supersport had chances. Supersport had quite a few chances. They hit the post a few times and all of that stuff. I understand. But the fact that we can now go the other way and score, I think that balances out some of the defensive errors that we have. And I think that's going to win us a lot of games. Defense will lose us some games, but that knowing what to do up front with Sirino, by the way, Siyabonga Mamelodi Sundowns, knowing what to do with Sirino up front really does take the pressure off of the defense a lot of the time. And we'll see them come around. It's still very early, I think. We're still going to see a lot of progression. Results aside, the results aren't necessarily what gets to me. It's about the general feel of the club, the general feel of the games. The belief is back, And last thing I want to say on the Kaizer Chiefs is those damn Motaungs. Okay, they didn't do anything wrong now. It's a habit, man. Hey, it's a habit. Yo, I've had so many games now with Kaizer Chiefs where I haven't mentioned Kaizer Junior or Rupobi or Ubanuti Esika. Let's just say they've done very well as well and give them the credit for finally going out and getting us a coach who has this on his back. Now, let's see. I'm going to let in the people who are here and only the people who are here so that I can hear what they want to say. So, user not found, John, last born, Ipileng. I'm going to let you guys in for this last 10 minutes so that you can just tell me what you guys are thinking. So user not found, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, and you, bro?
What's a Caliban? But anyway, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. How do you feel? What do you want to speak about?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Thanks. I'm good. Great weekend of football, by the way. So many goals.
Yep.
It was nice to actually see some goals in South African football for a change. Basically the upcoming international break in fixtures, I guess.
Yep.
I honestly feel like in terms of selections, I'm a Pirates fan, by the way. However, I do feel like Sereno deserves a call up at Bafana. Like since Nabi came in and since he signed for Chiefs, he feels energized. Like he feels like he looks like a new player. So I don't know. I feel like he should be given a chance. Also, that boy at Cape Town City, Keanu Kipiro. What a player! I don't know. I think it's the second goal. Watch the build-up play for that goal. Brilliant. Like it started from Nedbank in the line break pass he did. I feel like he deserves his chance like ahead of Sesane. Because Sesane has only been performing this season. Keanu Kipiro has been on form for the past 2 seasons. And Hugo hasn't been looking at him. So for me, I feel like he deserves it. And then further than that, I feel like we are in for an exciting season of football in the PSL. Chiefs look like they can contend the season. Stellenbosch looks good as well with Pirates. So I don't think it will be as open as previous years for Sundowns in terms of getting the league. However, we'll see.
So then tell me, I want to ask you a random question. What do you think is stopping the teams from giving us a weekend like this every week in the PSL? Because we've scored there were so many goals scored. There was such good play, and then we go back to the Betway Prem, and we don't see that anymore. What do you think?
It's stale. Yep.
What do you think influences that?
I think with league, remember, some teams play for points, so they might not go for 3 points. Cup competitions, it's more open because teams are looking to win. They aren't looking to draw the game or like secure points or anything. They are looking for goals. So they'll be a little more exposed because in terms of attacking play, just look at how Mageshi played it first 45 minutes against Pirates.
Yeah.
Like they didn't look like a small team. It didn't look like, okay, we are at Orlando, Escodini, let's sit back, invite pressure, and then look in on a counter. Now they went toe-to-toe with Pirates. Like they played ball against Pirates. So if teams adopt that more in the Betway, I feel like we'll have more games like this. However, teams want to secure positions, top 8.
Yeah.
So in terms of they want to secure position, so now if a small team like Mageshi, for instance, gets Pirates in the league, it is Godini. I don't think they'll play the open game they played this past weekend.
Okay, no.
So,
thank you so much. You're not found. Let me go to Usbo. Usbo, welcome to the show. What do you want to jump in for? Hey, what do you want to speak about?
Hey, Mr. Oti, how's it, Buffett?
Magimnandi, man.
Hey, Tada. No, we are happy, man, with the course. We are very happy. But hey, I think I'm a player, Buffett. As when I was watching the game against Super Sport, I realized that as much as for now we are still happy with center back.
Yeah.
I was watching him. I was at stadium making me Sundowns. I think it's still gonna cost us if we are not careful. And then it's the same thing. Right back, left back, the white guy.
Oh, Cross.
Now I've watched him after man of the match. I'm like, if we really want to compete with Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, we need to get the same quality they have. Our goalkeeper is something 5 million. Still now, a lot of our plus our whistle ground in Amanye. I'm like, we do Nabi and bringing Abu Serino, Abu Tata Shabalala, that one 100% Simnandi Lapo, but they are key position where you are like, what? I wish we can get quality Pitso Sundowns. Abu Bafana, Abu Modiba, Nabo Rivado Kutias. If you go to Pirates, I'm a defender compatible like Abunda. If you can get those kind of quality players, I think from there we can compete with Pirates and Sundowns. Because at the current moment, we're only winning because of Nabe, I think Nabe has proven he's a good coach. We're winning because of Serino. He can make a different alone. With us talent Ushabalala and the talent Uduba. Those guys, they make a big difference. And then kuzoba seswini, I wish now we can start believing Blom than our captain. Our captain, I come now to captain with. I've been watching a lot of games. I'm a pola luzaya, I'm a pass in final pass still. Like even from last season, I was like, this guy is a senior player. He's supposed to be doing things different. We're expecting a lot from him, but he's not giving us much.
So
coming to that.
Before you move on, can you tell me something? As somebody who's in the stadium, Pelatina Sivona TV land, do you see them talking? Do they interact with each other? What do you see maybe off the ball, man? The stadium,
I remember we used to have Abo Osep, no Sep, those kind of defender when they come to play for Chiefs. They feel like they're in charge and they're comfortable. But there's gonna come the days where this person has opened the game ball and you're gonna see with him ball. So with the guy Umekwel, he's acting like he's got everything under control. I was watching Sundowns. If you can get some highlights there, maybe 5 year Mapola where he's like someone who's comfortable, but he's not comfortable with the ball. Like you can see someone who think, you know what, I'm a top defender, I can control this thing. But the guys keep on losing the ball. The guys keep on when you're doing I'm a tackle. Some of them you go and I told you ball, I told you muntu, and then we Lula Rivera. I think was Wabaga too. Then I'm like, this guy somehow is gonna cost us. With our defense, there are 2 people that I'm comfortable with. Ufrosla, the boy from Cape Town, those are 2 guys who I'm compatible with. Our goalkeeper, our left back. Yes, now we can win if we're playing for top 5, top 6. But if we want to compete with Sundowns and Pirates, still now we must use the money, get us proper players.
Okay,
and then
no.
The last part was a part of a striker. Varona still, he can score goals, but if we want to compete with the top 3, we need a striker level Rivero. We need a striker more like Erasmus, where we know if we got a 2 chances per game, we're scoring those 2 chances. Done. If we got you remember when Torres was good, when the likes of Dropa, you got 1 chance per game, then we finish. Now if you want to compete, and then like Rivera, I see a player like Kingston Carter, I see a player like Costa Clego, where he's gonna be missing 5 chances, scoring 1, then we must celebrate because we won the game. But as Kaizer Chiefs, man, where we are now, Mr. Houti, with those boys, like especially about Shabala, those boys, Shabala is fighting 90 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Shabala said clearly, pass and then Serrero guy, that one is a top-notch Serrero. Like we need a striker that's gonna be scoring for us non-stop.
But for times more.
No, thanks. So just give Adam Amanyamaki a chance.
Thank you, Mo. Agent, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes because we're winding down. What do you want to address? And please, no beef.
I didn't want to have beef. Now they are taking me. Now I must provide beef.
No beef, please.
That's the thing. You see, you can't take me and not expect a response. But anyways, it's fine. I just wanted to say that I'm very impressed with Chiefs. I think one of the good days we need to have a conversation on the impact of coaches and the quality of coaches that we have in PSL. Because Nabi comes in, he has brought in 3 players and transformed Chiefs. So we need to have that conversation and maybe give credit to the guy, and give him his flowers. I think maybe there's going to be a topic that I have to suggest that as members, we need to discuss the quality of coaching and how coaching impacts teams, and you look at Beni under Amazulu, look at Nabi now against Chiefs, look at Jose and the Pirates, and again, look at other teams, look at Golden Arrows. Are they really a team that is supposed to be where it is, looking at the number of players they have or the quality of players that it has, No, I don't mention Rulani because Rulani Mangoba, I found a well-organized team, a well-oiled machine, maybe Pitso, for example, the importance of coaching in modern football. And also, lastly, is my point that, I don't know, I have this gut feeling that the game against Chiefs is not going to be as close as many people think. I think Chiefs, maybe in your attempt to be a longevity team, you spread your attacks across the 90 minutes.
you're not gonna caught as bombard us for the first 30 minutes and get that goal. I think that's my worry. That are you gonna have the same poisonous thing that you had with the first 30 minutes where by hook or by crook you'll score, so I'm concerned about that. And I think Sundowns also got killed by the inclusion of Ozwani, so without Ozwani I think it's gonna be not as close game as it was, but I'm glad that is a game that we're gonna have. And others are gonna join Chiefs, Pirates in the suit there, and again that's my last point.
Very quickly.
Very quickly, 30 seconds. We need to check how many official trophies does Pirates have for an old team. How much trophies do they have? Because they disappoint us here, man. Almost 100 years. And your trophies are how many? But it's fine. They're on the same level as our Swallows, our Magpies, if we have to spread those trophies over 100 years. Thank you.
You had to take the shot. Let me go to Pilani. Pilani, I'm going to give you 2 minutes just to close off for me. Welcome.
Hi, my brother. I hope you're good.
I'm good.
I just want to talk about this guy who says, I'm an Orlando Pirates fan. It's a pity because on social media we've got all different types of supporters. You see, you've got those who support the team without even understanding the depth of how people play, of how players get to play Ebola in the field of play, you see. And somehow you also have to interact with those that just watch highlights and come and say, hey, Chiefs won, hey, Chiefs did that, Orlando Pirates won, Orlando Pirates lost. And so you can't really differentiate the difference between all these type of fans, because when you are on social media, you get to meet everyone. I saw some other guy bashing Sesane. It's pity to see such things, man, because how many games did this guy play? More especially on the previous MTN 8, all together with Nda. They were very combined at the back, very compact. All those games we didn't concede. We didn't concede most goals because the combination between Sesan and Olisanda, it was very good. Just now, one game he committed, I think, 2 mistakes. I think the first one was it was that on goal, and the second one that penalty. And now just to jump and say, all of a sudden, he costed us all this. I just believe, as Orlando Pirates, we need to make sure that when we win, we must win together, and when we lose, we must lose together. Because you don't know when you are going to bash this guy and come on a later stage. You don't know the psychological part, or the psychological impact rather that it has towards him.
Okay.
Yes, I was very disappointed over the weekend. Pirates lost. And lastly, the what you call Kaizer Chiefs fans. You've got those fans just appear when the team wins, and they want to post about it and disappear. There's this other guy at work that I work with. I couldn't believe it when he said to me, I don't even know the guys that actually scored. I'm not fighting against the Chiefs fans, but I am just saying that, imagine I have to interact with a fan who does not even know who scored from Kaizer Chiefs. But I think we are anticipating a very good game between Kaizer Chiefs and Sundowns. So but all I wanted to say was that Sesane, we are all together.
No, thank you, Pilani. Abafana who are crying, who are crying on lives, who are having breakdowns on lives, on national social platforms, who are having live breakdowns. They're not real fans. Plastic fans now. Okay, look. First thing I'm going to say, just to recap, quarterfinals going to be Richards Bay versus Cape Town City, Kaizer Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns, TS Galaxy, Magesi, and then Marumo Gallants and Stellenbosch. Those are the quarterfinals. Then the show is on Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. But if Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana, Banyana Bastyle and UWC when the Champions League starts. We will be here covering those games too. So tomorrow is going to be at 7:30. We're going to be at 7:30 where we'll watch the game together. I'm not going to broadcast it, obviously, copyright, but we'll watch the game together. You'll be able to come in. We'll have some analysis. We'll speak about it and do all of those really nice things. So if you're here for the first time, please consider pressing that follow button, man. And then thank you to Papa Khosi, Ray 19, Crazy Team, Malume Kuto, Alcin Tabi. Thank you so much for the gifts. That side, thank you for 55k. And I see there's beef happening there in the comments. I get it, but thank you to those in the comments as well. Guys, it's been incredible. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes back, they are available in full on YouTube. And then if you want my full thoughts about the games, I do have videos that I've put out on my videos. I do a video after every single game that we watch together, Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns. So if you want my thoughts, YouTube, there's support us content creators, guys. Please support us. There's not too many places that do these type of things. It's 9 o'clock, so Lindo Pep is starting his show over at Lindo Pep, the technocrat breakdown show. You can head on over that side and watch some more footballing content from our footballing content creators, guys. Thank you so much for everybody who supports. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7:30. Bye, everyone.